Hello everyone, this is Mr. 206. Today I'm going to be making a tier list of slurs you can call gamers. Now I'm already using a pre-made template called the profanity tier list, but I did end up adding a bunch of my own words. You can see that I'm hiding all the words right now, and that's because YouTube will probably shadow ban this video or even my channel, so I'm just going to wait a little bit before I show them. Anyways, these are words that you can use to call gamers when you're upset at a game, when you're playing like League or Call of Duty or even Roblox or something like that. Now this tier list has some pretty basic profanity words, but I did end up going in and adding a bunch of my own words, which will be used by gamers and you will hear if you're ever in an online chat. Now when it comes to the pre-made words, I kind of just left them the way they were. When you see my words, I did kind of try and order them a little bit from less offensive to most offensive. So once we get to around halfway through my words, if you have thin skin, you should probably click off the video by then. But if you're a gamer and you're used to gamer words, then you should be able to handle those words because you've already heard them probably 1,000 times before. You know, it's probably a part of your vocabulary when you're gaming as well. All right, I think it's been long enough. Let's show the words. Scroll down. Boom. I want it about here. Yeah, these are the words. So these words in the black and white, and they're just full-on words. Those are the pre-made ones. And then these ones with the actual images down here, these are the ones I added in myself. They probably didn't add them because they were just too offensive or just wasn't allowed on tier maker. Anyways, as you can see, this image and this image right here are the same. I originally added the bottom one first, but it didn't show the word that I wanted. So I just added this other. This one's not going to be tier listed since it's the same word. But everything else on the tier list will be tier listed. All right, let's just start up from the top. The word dick. Now, this is a pretty basic word. You call this someone who's making you upset, but you don't really want to be too offensive and say the word something like asshole, right? So you just call them like a dick. Pretty basic word, not super offensive, but a good word, and it will get your point through that you're calling someone a dick. I'm going to put this at the top of C tier for now. I'm going to try and be a little bit more critical of these words. Next word, dickhead. Oh, this is a good one. Now, if you call someone regular dickhead, you know, with the American accent, you know, oh, you're a dickhead. Yeah, it definitely is a step up above dick, as you're not just calling them a dick. When you call someone a dick, you're mainly referring to them in general, but when you're calling them a dickhead, it's a little bit more personal because you're calling their personality a dickhead. But the word is made even better if you add like an accent, almost like a British accent or something. Call them a dickhead. Oh my god, I love that so much. I should add like 2 of these, but I'm just gonna do the one. Base dickhead would be around a B tier, but dickhead would be like middle bottom of A tier. So I'm just gonna leave dickhead at the top of B tier for now. If I change my mind, I'll change that word later. I just realized we have 2 of the same word here. I'm gonna use the image I use because it's colorful. All right, this word, faggot. Oh, this is a good word. This is a word you're gonna use on your friend when they really piss you off and you're trying to be a little bit more personal. Either they destroyed something of yours in like a survival game, or they like stole your loot or something. Yeah, but this is a really good word to use. I will put this in A tier. Now, fuck. Now, fuck on its own isn't really a good word. As what are you gonna do? Call someone a fuck? No, that doesn't work. You can call them a fucker, but that's not even that good of a word either. Fuck is mainly used to connect a bunch of other words, and I should have added like more fucks here, like fucker, fucking. But just the word on its own, fuck, you probably don't call someone a fuck, unless if you say you fuck, which isn't a good, you know, slur. But as a connector word like fucking, it's really good as it emphasizes the other word you want to use, like fucking dickhead. Oh, that's good. So on its own, it's like a D, but using it as like fucking, it's like a C. So I'm gonna put it bottom of C tier. Oh, motherfucker. Motherfucker's a good one. Like, this is what I'm saying. You can use the word fuck to emphasize other slurs, like motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because mother on its own doesn't mean anything. Fuck on its own isn't too good, but motherfucker, ooh, that's a good one. Same, you're gonna use this if somebody's being a dick, you know, stealing your loot, breaking your buildings or something like that. Be like, hey, motherfucker, stop doing that, you know? Yeah, this is a good one. I'm gonna put this like bottom of B tier. Poo nanny. Not gonna lie, I never really heard of this word before. Never really heard anyone calling it. But I looked the word up and it says that it is poo nanny, as a slang that refers to the female genitalia or sexual intercourse. Now, we can see it down here, but there is the word pussy. I don't really hear anyone say punani. I don't know if that's like an older word that we just don't use anymore. I see what they're trying to use it for, but I think the word pussy just does it a lot better. And like I said, I've never really heard anybody say this, so I'm just gonna put it at the bottom of F tier. Shit. Now, shit isn't really too good of a slur. I feel like it's a lot like fuck, where it's kind of used to emphasize other words. For instance, like you little shit or fucking shit. It's not really used to refer to someone directly, but it's more for like a situation. Like you just put the wrong item in the wrong storage box or something and you're like, shit, you know, I put that in the wrong box. The only really way I can see you using it to refer to someone is like you little shit. And it's not really that good as fuck. Fuck is way more versatile than shit. So I'm gonna put shit like at the bottom of D tier. All right, next word, son of a bitch. Oh, this is a pretty good one. Say you're playing like Battlefield or Call of Duty or someone, and you get like sniped from like across the map. And it's been happening a couple times through the games, and you kind of tip over your boiling point and you're like, oh, you son of a bitch. But that's really like, other words can be a bit more versatile. Son of a bitch really isn't. Son of a bitch is a pretty good phrase. It can only really be used in like one situation, when you're getting really upset at somebody after they've done something a couple times. But when it hits, dude. It's a good word. It's a good phrase. Also, the times it can be used is quite often if you're playing games. So you can actually use it quite a few times. So, son of a bitch, really good word. I'm gonna put it A tier right below faggot. Swatch. Now I literally just looked it up and I can't find any kind of offensive word containing swatch. I think this might be an older word as well, like punani. Since I have no idea what it is and Google won't tell me what it is, probably because they don't want to be offensive, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of F tier. Yeah, like I said, I've never really heard somebody say that. Twat. Oh, this is a good word. Twat isn't really a word that we use here in the States. It's more, I feel like it's more of a European thing, but you're really just calling somebody like a vagina, like a pussy. I find the word to have some zing to it, some personality. I like it, but I wouldn't compare it to pussy. Maybe people in Europe use the word twat more than pussy, but as an American, I would have to put twat roughly at about the C tier, bottom of C tier. I really do like the word twat. It just rolls off the tongue. Ass, the word ass, not asshole, because there is specifically the word asshole on this tier list. Now, ass on its own isn't that good of a word. You can be like, you ass, or fuck you, like fuck your bitch ass or something like that. It's a lot like fuck and shit, where it's not really that good on its own, but when connected with other words, it is better. But ass, it definitely is a little bit more versatile than shit, so I'm gonna put ass right above shit. Oh, wanker. Wanker is another one of those European words that I like that sound funny. When you call someone a wanker, you're calling them specifically somebody who like jerks off a lot, you know, beats their meat. Use when somebody's like pissing you off, or you just want to make fun of somebody, call them a wanker. Pretty good word. I'd say it could be used like at the same time as son of a bitch, but I wouldn't put it on the same level as son of a bitch. It can be used a lot like dick, really, but it's not as offensive as dick, I would say. So I would put it right below dick. All right, wench. Ooh, I really like wench. Kind of a medieval word to refer to someone like being a slut, a whore, you know. But it is a little bit less offensive than the word slut or whore. But I bet back in the medieval times, this was super offensive. And it just sounds funny, calling somebody a wench. I really like the word wench. Yeah, wench, you know, whore, slut can be used in a lot of situations. So I would have to put this like at the bottom of B tier. Woman, pretty good slur for gamers. Let's say you're playing a game like Counter-Strike or something, and it's like a 2v3. It's you and your teammate versus 3 enemies. And you're going in, you're fighting, you're doing your best you can. You take out 2 enemies and the last enemy takes you out. But then you realize that your teammate wasn't really doing anything but like cowering in the corner. You basically want to call them a coward, but you want to be a little bit more offensive. So you just straight up call them a woman. Super offensive, not just to them, but just to like, you know, females, women in general. And you know, when you're calling somebody a slur, you're trying to be offensive. So woman not only offends them, but an entire gender as well, which is kind of a 2-for-1, which is a positive when it comes to the slur tier list. So I would have to put woman definitely in the B tier, but I feel like the word wench is a little bit cooler. But since you're getting a double whammy by saying woman, I would put that above wench. And should I put it above motherfucker? Fuck it, we'll put it right above motherfucker, right below dickhead, because dickhead just sounds cool. All right, next one, a boner. This is, I wouldn't say this is a good one. I've never really heard somebody call you like a boner. Maybe they say that you have a boner. I feel like that would be a little bit more reasonable. Like, let's say you're playing something like Overwatch or like Marvel Rivals, and you're fighting like a tank, and they're being constantly healed by a healer. You can like type in chat specifically to the healer, being like, "Oh, you have a boner for your tank." Like, you're basically just saying that they are really attracted to the tank. I mean, like, that's pretty much it. I don't really see it being used in any other way. You can also just call somebody a boner, but not really good an insult. But I feel like there's better ways of saying somebody's like dick riding someone, you know, like what I just said, dick riding. Like, stop dick riding your tank. But yeah, not a terrible word. I would have to put this in D tier, right below shit. All right, dork. Oh, this is a good one. Like a classic Nickelodeon teen movie insult. Like a bully calls someone a dork. Oh, dude, it's a good word. Like, let's say you're playing like a game with voice chat, and you just hear somebody like talk, and you can just hear it. They sound like a dork, and they probably are a dork. So you just straight up call them a dork. Now, usually when you call them a dork, they usually just be quiet right off the bat, because they know they are a dork, either by the way they talk or what they were saying. This is a pretty good one. This is a really good shutdown. And the word dork is just really good. B tier is a B tier. It's definitely better than wench, motherfucker, woman. Is it better than dickhead? Now, the thing is, somebody can rebuttal if you call them a dickhead. You call them a dickhead, they can call you an asshole or something like that. But when you call someone a dork, they have no rebuttal. So I'm going to put this at the bottom of A tier. It's a good one. It's a really good word. All right, next word. Douche. Used in the same mannerism as dick. You want to call someone like a dick. You want to use a little bit more advanced vocabulary rather than just saying dick, so you just call them a douche. Also, the word douche just sounds better than the word dick. Just rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Like I said, using the same context as dick, but the word's just a little bit better in my opinion, so I would have put this at the bottom of B tier. Prick. Pretty much used in the same context as dick, but I feel like dick is a little bit harder hitting than the word prick, but it's not a terrible word to be used. I would have put this in C tier, right below wanker. Yeah, right there. Dick, wanker, prick. All right, next one. Pussy. Yeah, you're calling this somebody who's just hiding in the back line, you know, being a little fucking sniper in the back lines. Or if you're playing something like Marvel Rivals and like a DPS or a support, you hit them once and they immediately back off. They run and hide, or the other pussies group up to gang up on you. You're basically calling somebody a scaredy cat, a pussy. Also, the word pussy just kind of funny. It's commonly used for a reason, because it's a good word. It sounds funny. But yeah, you would use this in the same context as woman, but I feel like the word pussy is just better than the word woman. Even though with women, you're getting a 2 for 1. With the word pussy, you're also getting a 2 for 1, but it's not as bad as woman, in my opinion. But the word pussy just sounds funny. I like it. We're going to put this right above woman. Actually, you know what? We're going to put that right above dickhead. Bottom of B tier. That's a good one. Oh, this one. The word retard. You kind of want to split the word re and tard into 2 to be more offensive. You go like retard. You hear that little pause between the re and the tard? But if you just say a retard, it's not as good. So make sure you emphasize the re and the tard. You call somebody a retard when they're being dumb, or they just say something that doesn't make sense. Like, let's say you're playing hero shooter, Marvel Rivals, you're playing a support, and they run to the front line for some reason, and they get killed. Make a terrible play, right? That's when you call them a retard. Good word. Super offensive, because you're not only offending that person, which is also used as a slur for disabled people, mentally disabled people. So you're hitting them with like a 2 for 1, you know? And you're also making fun of mentally handicapped people, you know? But it was also used in Mario Short. I'm gonna show that right now.
Listen, retard! No, that's in poor taste.
Mario just used the hard
mean to say.
And that short single-handedly like increased the power of that word. I gotta say it like that, dude. Like, whenever I hear somebody say the word retard, I think about that clip with the Mario. So just for that, I'm gonna put this like at the bottom of D tier. It's a good word. It's a really good word. A good slur, I mean. Good slur for gamers. All right, scum. Now, you really call someone a scum when they betray you or something like that. Playing something like Tarkov or Arc Raiders, and you're playing solo, and you find another guy. You guys work together, are looting. You guys come to the end, are now about to extract, and then the other person kills you. And then they're about to execute you, so you let out your last word, calling them a scum. Now, for the average person, this would hit a bit harder, but usually people who act scummy get called scum a lot, so the word doesn't really hit them the same way as it would hit somebody who's not already a scum. So I feel like for the times you want to use scum, it doesn't hit that person as well as it usually does. But if you hit somebody who doesn't really get called scum, then it does hit a lot harder. Now, I was thinking about putting this at the bottom of B tier, but since it doesn't really hit the person that you're trying to call scum as hard as somebody who doesn't usually get called scummed, I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. I feel like right above prick is a good place for scum. All right, asshole. This is a good word. This can be used in a lot of contexts. When you're just trying to make fun of somebody and you can't really think of another word, asshole is a pretty good one. General term for pretty much everyone in every situation. Pretty much you can use the word asshole in any context of any of these other words. You know, call them a son of a bitch, call them you asshole. You want to call them a pussy, call them an asshole. You're basically just calling somebody's personality and being an asshole. But it does land a little bit harder when you're trying to call someone in the same context as dick. You know, say you're a dick, say you're an asshole. The word just hits harder than the word of, you know, dick or dickhead. So I'd put this at like the bottom of A tier, but I would think it'd definitely go right above dorks, right below son of a bitch. Asshole is a good slur. The word slut, used in the same context as wench. Now slut refers to a woman who sleeps around with multiple partners. In gaming, you usually use this in conjunction with the word loot, so loot slut. So you would use this on somebody who is, you know, stealing all the loot for themselves. Maybe they're a healer in like Marvel Rivals or something, and they're following around their tank, you know, only healing them. So you call them a slut because they're addicted to that tank. But yeah, it's pretty much on par with wench. I feel like wench is a little bit more funny of a word, but slut is a little bit more modern, and a lot more people know the word slut. And I feel like women get more offended by being called slut rather than being called a wench. So I feel like slut just beats out wench by just a little bit. So we're gonna put slut right above wench on B tier. Now, tits. I see the word tits being used more as a positive than a negative. It's saying, oh, that's the tits, you know, or that's tits. You're calling something or somebody good. So I don't know why this is even on here. I feel like tits is more of a positive than a negative. So we're going to put this at the bottom of D tier. Like these words can be used as negatives. I don't even know what swatch means, but you can use punani as a negative. I feel like tits is more used as a positive than a negative because tits are fucking nice, dude. We all love tits. Small, big, medium. Tits are good. It's in our inherent nature to love the word tits. All right, the word balls. I feel like the word balls isn't that good of an insult. Like your balls, or I feel like you would try and use balls in the same term as ass, but balls just doesn't hit as well as ass. Like saying your balls just doesn't roll off the tongue as saying your ass. So pretty simple one. I'm just gonna put this at the top of F tier. I don't really hear people say balls, but I feel like people would use the word balls more than punani. So that's the reason why it's above punani. Bastard. It's all right. It's kind of like a mix between the word dick and scum, where you're trying to call somebody a dick and they've also kind of betrayed you a little bit, so you call them a bastard. Now the word bastard means illegitimate child of somebody who's typically cheated, you know, typically done with the side chick, the side man, you know. But yeah, I feel like bastard hits a little bit better than scum. Definitely is a little bit better than dick. But you say it with like an English accent, you bastard. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Bastard. Definitely above douche. Would I put it above wench? With the English accent, yes, I would put it above wench. But I feel like even with the English accent, it wouldn't hit above slut. So we're gonna put bastard right between slut and wench. Bitch. Oh god, this is a good word, bitch. I feel like this one is very similar to asshole, where you can use it in pretty much almost every single situation. If you want to make fun of somebody or call somebody a slur, you just call them a bitch. Like, you're a bitch, stop being a bitch. Or they're being a pussy. You can, instead of calling them a pussy, you can call them a bitch. Like, stop being a little bitch and hiding in the back, you know? Bitch is just so versatile. Now, I would put this right next to asshole. The question is it above or below asshole? Now, I feel like because of bitch's simplicity, it's a little bit better than asshole. Sometimes simplicity is just better than, you know, being overly complex. Bullshit. Now, this one's a bit weird. You wouldn't use bullshit to refer to someone, but you would refer to a situation. Like, let's say, you know, that sniper in the back of the map shot you like 10 times in a row, killed you 10 times in the match. Now, you can call the sniper an asshole, a pussy, a bitch, but you wouldn't call them a bullshit, you know? You would call the situation bullshit. Like, oh, this sniper has killed me 10 times in a row. That is bullshit. You know, so you're not really referring to somebody but a situation. So as a slur, it's not really that good, but I really like the word bullshit. So since you're not really being able to use it towards somebody but more of the situation that you're in, I would have to put it like at the bottom of C tier, even though I really like the word bullshit. Clunge. I gotta search that up. Hold up. Clunge. It's like the European version of punani. You're basically just saying pussy vagina, but it's mainly used in Europe. Clunge doesn't sound that good as punani, so I'm gonna put that right below punani. Hearing the word clunge made me think of cringe, so I added cringe to the list. Cock. Cock isn't that good of a slur. I feel like you would try and use it as the same context as dick, but cock doesn't roll off the tongue as well as dick. And there's not a lot of phrases that you can use with the word cock, so immediately it's like in the same place as boner, but I feel like cock is used a little bit more often than boner, so I'm gonna put cock right above boner. All right, cunt. Ooh, this is a good one. Cunt. Basically, you're calling somebody a pussy, a bitch, but cunt just hits a lot harder than pussy. Like, stop being such a fucking cunt. Oh, you use the word fucking with it, it hits even harder. That's like one that would do damage to your soul, dude. So I'm gonna put that at the bottom of A tier for sure. Whore. Use it as the same context as like wench and slut, but I feel like the word whore rolls off the tongue a little bit better than wench and slut, you know. I'm gonna put whore right above slut for sure. Is it better than motherfucker? I feel like it is better than motherfucker. Is it better than woman? Yes, it's definitely better than woman. Is it better than dickhead though? I feel like it's not as good as dickhead, especially when you add the accent, dickhead, and you can't really add an accent to whore. Actually you can, but that one is down here, hua. We'll talk about that when we get to it. As you can see, adding accents to slurs usually does make it better, as it makes it sound funny, in my opinion. All right, goat fucker. This one's a little bit of an offensive one. This one you're referring to somebody who is Muslim or Middle Eastern. Now, people don't really use this one unless if you're playing something in like a Middle Eastern or desert context. I like the slur, but it's not really one that you use a lot, so I would have to put this one in D tier right above shit, because it's not really used that often, but it is a good one when it is used, but there's not a lot of context where you can use it, unless if you're trying to be straight up racist towards a Muslim or Middle Easterner, which isn't too bad when you're trying to be offensive and call somebody a slur. All right, broad. Now, broad is like saying woman, but it's like being a little bit more offensive, and if you add a little bit of the accent, you broad. Ooh, it can be a really good word. Definitely above woman. Definitely, is it better than whore? I feel like broad, it just sounds funny, especially when you add the accent broad. So I'm gonna put it right above hua. All right, Karen. I feel like us gamers don't really use this one a lot because it's usually referring to somebody who's kind of making a problem out of nothing that's not a problem, or they're just complaining a lot, or they're just trying to say woman, but they want to be a little bit more offensive, so they say Karen. You don't really see the word Karen being used as slurs while gaming though. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call someone a Karen in a game, but it is pretty offensive IRL. You know, like when was it, like 2016 around like 2024, the word Karen was being used a lot because there was a lot of videos of people being Karens. Karen can also refer to men as well, not just women. And when you call a man a Karen, I feel like it's even more offensive than when you call a woman a Karen. But like I said, not really that used that much in gaming. I would definitely put this one in D tier right above goat fucker, because I feel like there's a lot more situations you can call someone a Karen than a goat fucker. Chump. Oh, there's a pretty good one. This one's a kind of like a childish insult. You call this somebody who's kind of being like a beta, somebody who's acting kind of like a dweeb, a dork, you know. But I feel like chump isn't used that much, and it's not as hard hitting as the word dork. As when you call someone dork, it typically stops them on the spot, but if you call them a chump, the word chump is kind of like childish, so they can just hit you back with, oh, you're being a child or something like that. I don't know, something like that. So it definitely not hard as hitting as cunt, since it is something somebody can fight back with if you say the word chump. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but it's also funny because it is a childish insult, you know. So I'm gonna put this at the bottom of C tier. Sissy, used in the same context as, like, you know, sissy, pussy, bitch. You're basically just calling somebody a scaredy cat, you know. But I feel like sissy definitely is not as good as pussy. It's roughly at the same level as twat, but I feel like the word sissy can be used against you, as you say, oh, you're a sissy, and then somebody's like, nice vocabulary, are you like a woman or something like that, you know. So I would put that below bullshit chump. I feel like this one has the same problem as chump, where there is just a better word you can use, dork. In this context, it's pussy, and somebody can use the word sissy against you. So yeah.